Boy, what a day I've had. And by day, I mean like the past 15 minutes. I am trying to get this done before my husband comes back from the grocery store. I'm out of breath because I've been running around. This is the bad mic. The good mic is charging. So hopefully by time I need to clip this on, which I just learned how to actually clip it on, by time it's time, that will be charged enough. Hopefully. Let me catch my breath. Hello, es ist Sonntag und ich heiße Sonntag and welcome back to Books and Hooks. If you're new here, welcome. I am D.M.Sonntag, author of the Kingdom Isles series, and this is a channel where I talk about books and crochet. If you're a returning watcher, welcome back. New background! I'm in the not-so-empty office I spoke about. These bookshelves. So what you didn't see in the time between this video and the last video is that I moved these bookshelves 3 times. They were originally on the floor in the loft, aka what will be my future library, because we weren't sure where to put them. My husband had claimed the bigger of the 2 rooms upstairs. I motion like you can see it's over there, and I was content with the smaller. Then he comes to me and says, "Just kidding, I want the small room. Let's move the bookshelves into the big room. They fit perfectly in this nook." I go, "Are you sure? I can put the heavy books up and never have to move them again because I, sir, am neurospicy. Yes, I am certain this will not change."
2 days later.
"Hey, just kidding again. I want the big room because I can't fit a couch in the small room. Mother trucker." So I took all my books out, took a picture of it so I remembered what neurospicy order they went in. Some are alphabetical by author, some just look pretty. And I moved the gosh dang flim flam bookshelves back to the loft. My husband, whom I love, measured, analyzed every angle of each room. We call it Doctor Stranging, where he sees like every outcome, and determined that they looked best right here, which I agree. Now that I have an awesome new phone mount and a remote, which appeared in my hand, that can pause and play, I can record anywhere I want. I can walk back here if I want to. I can be in this little corner. No one puts baby in the corner, but you can hear me perfectly, even though this is the bad mic. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, because I turned it off. That's why, because I wasn't using it. But anyway, I'm not limited to the floor with my desk. I think ice is falling from our roof. It snowed in South Carolina, but that just freaked me out because not used to the sound of ice falling from a roof. What was I saying? Basically, now I have a nice background where I can record, and it's not the open loft that my husband can just walk by, and I'm self-conscious. Here, I can close the door to my office, which wasn't closing like 2 seconds ago, but now it magically closed. I might still record in my library when he's not home. I'm actually recording right now. He's not home because, again, I'm self-conscious. I don't know how thin these walls are. His game room is like right there. Yeah, I won't even get those bookshelves until we furnish the rest of the house, which could be 5 years. We just got a couch today too. Yay, progress. The next step is my working desk and then I think a bedroom set. He was talking about a sound bar. Sorry, I just thought about where are we getting the money? That's what jobs are for. And buy my books. I don't know why I pointed like right here because my books aren't on there, but no, they're not on there. I had to check. I used to have my books up there. Maybe I'll put them back. Anyway, enough of these bookshelves. Happy New Year! I know it's like the end of January, if I even get this out at the end of January. Time will tell, but it's still the new year, and this video is going to be all about what I finished last year. Thank goodness for Goodreads because I would not remember. If you're not familiar with Goodreads and you're a reader, I highly recommend that website. Not only is it great for leaving reviews for indie authors like myself, but it's a great source to keep track of what you read, what you want to read. If the book you picked up in the thrift store is number 5 of 10 in a series, which I've often done. And then there's also a reading challenge, which I did not meet mine. I wanted to read 12 books, so 1 book a month, and I only read 10, one of which was a tiny novella and one of which was an audiobook that I listened to like at the gym, but still counts. Look at that. We are switching to body mic. Hopefully it's charged enough, and I swear if it dies while I'm talking, I will throw this book. And the book that I might be throwing is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you're British. I'm not, but I like to spell gray with an E. Anyway, this is what I started the year off with, and I finished it on February 13th, taking me 44 days to read. It was a reread. I originally read it when I think I was like 16 or 17, and normally I don't reread. I like to read new books, but my husband and I had a goal to read all the Harry Potter books in 2024, and just like the placement of the bookshelves, he changed his mind, saying, just kidding, I don't want to. So I never finished the Chamber of Secrets. I'm like 2/3 of the way done with that. I think the bookmark is like still in the book. Maybe this year we'll pick up that goal. So any ebook I read will be placed there. If I keep that in, my husband texted me and I was trying to read it. I started the Holiday Affair in 2023, but I finished it a few days after Harry Potter. So in total, it took me 66 days. And I reviewed this one on my channel, so you should go check that video out. The Den of Stone was also started in 2023, August. Can you see why I didn't meet my reading challenge? I finished it on a leap year, February 29th, taking me a whopping 196 days. This review is also on my channel. The Guardian's Secret. Wow, it got bright in here. I started this April 18th and I finished it June 27th, taking 71 days in total. This one I forced myself to read fast because this was an advanced reader copy and I don't think I made the deadline. Anyway, you guessed it, the full review is on my channel. She also gave me like a personalized note, a lime sticker, which I haven't put on yet. I need to put that on. Some cool cards, trading cards, which you can, or collector cards. I mean, you can trade them if you want. And then she signed it. Just wanted to show off my loot. Night Shift started March 13th, which is Pisces season, and finished it August 9th, which is Leo season. The author knows why that's funny. Total of 150 days. These are just getting sad. Do you know what's coming? Correct. The full review is on my channel. If it's an indie book, I will make a review video for it. The Art of Racing in the Rain. I do not remember where I put this book. If it's not in these bookshelves, they're in boxes in the loft, and I don't feel like digging through the boxes right now. Literally just dropped off my second copy to a tiny library. What are those called? You know, those little libraries. There we go. I don't know where my copy is. So this one was 391 days. Wow, this one is sad. The book and the total. That's why it took me so long, because I didn't want to read it. It was really good, but there were just some parts where the main character was in such a pit of despair. I didn't know if there was going to be a happy ending. I'm glad I finished it because now I can finally watch the movie and probably cry because there's a dog, even though I know what happens. But I started Love Theoretically August 21st and finished it September 27th, taking me only 38 days. There we go, we're out of the sad. Definitely faster than a lot of the books I was reading. The main character is very similar to me, being on some spectrums, so I found myself flying through the pages. The Fire Prophecy. This was the audiobook I read, and I started it July 8th and finished it September 29th. Wow, that's my grandma's birthday and then my grandpa's birthday, totaling 84 days. This one took me longer because I would only read it for increments at the gym, like I said, and it was kind of boring. I picked it up for free on Apple and it just wasn't for me. Finding Cinderella. This was my shortest read because it is the shortest book. Only 176 pages, took me 5 days. My husband's Mimi gave it to me saying she finished it in a day, I believe. That woman can read. So I didn't finish it in a day, but 5 days is pretty good for me. And it was cute. This was my first Colleen Hoover book, so I enjoyed it. And finally, Love Drunk Cowboy, which I realized I should probably get really close so y'all can see it, because Love Drunk Cowboy. My South Carolina comes out. This took place in Oklahoma, but it was so cute. The super southern things to read, and they're like, Hales Bales. Bells Hells is the D&D group, or Critical Role is the D&D group. Bells Hells is the name that they called their party. Anyway, I started this on September 29th, and I finished this on December 29th. Oh, hey, that's cool. For a total of 92 days. I really tried to finish the novella in the back called Summertime in the Ranch. It's like, that's the novel, and then that's the novella. So I finished the novel by the end of the year, and I was really trying to finish the novella on New Year's Eve, but reading makes me sleepy, which is why I read at night, and so I didn't even make it to midnight. Also, this book was not as smutty as I thought it was going to be, which is fine for me personally. It was like the perfect amount of description. Like, they had sex on the table. And then it was like the next day, or they wake up and he's making her breakfast or whatever. But for a book that's called Love Drunk Cowboy and it's got like a hot guy on the cover, like I really thought it was going to be smutty, but it wasn't. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the plot and the southernness. And then reading the novella, she definitely got better in writing because it like flipped POVs. So I'm not used to reading third person omniscient, which I think it was. I'm used to reading third person limited, where it just sticks to one POV, even though it's like Susie walked to the mall. Anyway, those are all the books that I read. Now on to crochet. With this, I did not have a website to keep track of my projects, so I'm definitely going to do that this year, but for my 2024, I had to rely on pictures and my old videos. So I think that the first thing I made in 2024 was this belated Christmas gift to a coworker. I had big dreams to make everyone crochet Christmas presents, and I ended up giving no one anything, except for this in February. It's a bunch of coasters that, when folded up, look like a succulent, and then you take them out and they're all little leaves. And I believe that the second thing I crocheted was Pete the Pirate. I showcased this on my channel. There's a video. And this was for a competition, and I came in second place. So I didn't get the free little doodad or whatever that was being offered, but I'm still ecstatic that I was part of the final four and almost won. Get it? He's a pirate. I'll put him up here, even though he doesn't belong with Harry Potter. So I'm going to lump 4 things in one, but my third thing I finished in the year were these 4 baby blankets. I finished 3 in April and 1 in early May, since that was the deadline to get them to the church. I'm excited about this one because this was my very first Plarn project that is plastic yarn, because I made this wasp nest, that's really hard to say, out of grocery bags. Why? I'm glad you asked. We were having a wasp problem, and I read that they're territorial and won't build their nest if there's already a nest there. So now you know, if you have stubborn wasps, that's also hard to say, stubborn wasps. Anyway, if you have them and they won't leave no matter how many times you knock their nest down, you can just put a fake one up, and we didn't have a problem since. I am going to have to censor this one because I made a chapstick holder for my best friend's bachelorette party in July. Same friend I made the succulent coasters for, and the succulents, which I'll get to. But the reason I have to censor it is because it looks like something else, and if you just think dirty bachelorette shenanigans, you can piece together what I made. No idea if she uses it as a keychain. I hope not. Then the succulents. I made my first one shortly after the bachelorette because I talked to her about it. And I don't remember when I finished the last one, definitely before her wedding in October. But I didn't make all of them. I had help from my Naughty Hookers crochet group. In total, there were over 160 because that's how many keychains there were for the wedding favors. And they were, I believe, a good success. Yes, the Gummy Bear Granny Squares, which I made for Nina's Knots Crochet Boggy Creek blankets. Those were finished in August. I'll put a link to where she unboxes my contribution, and she'll explain what the Boggy Creek Blanket Brigade is. I believe they're donating their blankets soon, so that'll be exciting. I'm going to say in September I made this chicken. I honestly have no recollection when I did it or why I did it. I know I just bought this yarn and wanted to make chickens. It's pretty cute. So in 2023, I crocheted my own Halloween costume. In 2024, I crocheted my mother-in-law's dog's costume because I don't have a dog of my own yet. She was a Bumble Beagle. Get it? Get it? I like puns. Then I made my birthday cardigan early in November so that I could wear it in December. And December was my ugly Christmas sweater. I also finished 2 blankets that took the whole year to make, my temperature blanket and my schlanket. Oh, this thing is huge.
That's what she said.
What in the world is a schlanket? Oh, I thought you'd never ask, and you're gonna wish you did exactly that. Excuse my French, but it is a shit blanket. Inspired by M. Wilson on the Clock app, it's a temperature blanket of my bowel movements. I can't believe I'm saying this on the internet. The color is the type. Oh my god. And the number is the amount that occurred in that day. That is enough before I gross you out. Technically, I finished this year because I was very behind during the month of moving, but it contains only BMs of 2024, my not temperature blanket. It really is a beautiful blanket, and I love that no one knows what it truly means. unless they watch this video. When I initially bought all the yarn, the lady checking me out went, "Oh, what beautiful earth tones." Yes, exactly what I was making, an earth tone blanket.
Very earthy.
I used the moss stitch and I actually cut off 3 months worth of the blanket because initially I started it straight across. Actually, let me go get that. So this is the amount that I chopped off and I call it my bacon. Doesn't it look like bacon? I don't know what to do with it. I guess it could be a scarf, a schlarf. I was gonna make a schlardigan, so maybe pieces of this will become that. And on that lovely note, that's the end of this chapter. And I'm all out of yarn. So I'll put down the hook and close the book for now. For the future of this channel, I'm going to post monthly. I don't remember if I already said that I was going to post monthly, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I know that's a long time to not see me, but it's better for my mental health, and I think it'll be fun to theme the videos per month. I already have an idea for the romance themes of my books for February. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my videos if you want to see the full reviews of all the indie books that I read and more of last year's crochet projects. If you like to read nautical new adult fantasy, then you should definitely check out my books. My website link is in the description. There's a complete trilogy full of magic, marauders, mermaids, and more. If that's your thing, you should definitely check it out. If you like what I do and what I make, then like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram for more content. Until next time, Auf Wiedersehen. I think the ice fell again.